Okay, so welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
We're looking through the material you sent over today. It gives us a pretty interesting view on what's happening in Southeast Asia.
Definitely. Lots going on.
And our mission for this deep dive is to focus on one specific issue that seems to be, well, making headlines again. That's the border dispute between Cambodia and Thailand.
Yeah, and based on these sources, it's not just history repeating itself. There seems to be a genuine, well, a fresh flare-up right now.
A flare-up, right.
Yeah.
So our goal is really to give you the context needed to understand, why this keeps happening.
Exactly. What's the background here?
So what's really at the heart of this, it seems to center on the Preah Vihear temple,
Hmm.
an 11th century temple, right, high up in the Dângrêk Mountains.
That's the one. And the sources make it clear this isn't new, not at all. We're talking over a century of disagreement.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it goes back to maps drawn during the colonial period, French colonial maps, and just fundamentally different ideas about where that borderline should actually be drawn.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how the geography and the history seem to, well, clash.
Absolutely. So the temple, according to those French maps from the late 1800s, is on the Cambodian side.
Okay.
But physically, it sits on this piece of land, a promontory that kind of juts out. And geographically, naturally, it's on the Thai side of the main watershed line in those mountains.
Huh. And Thailand, they accepted that map initially, didn't they? But then changed their mind.
That's right. They accepted it, but later disputed it. And it's not just about the temple ruins themselves, though. We should mention the International Court of Justice, the ICJ.
Right, the ICJ. They ruled back in 1962 that the temple building itself belongs to Cambodia.
Correct. But Thailand has pretty consistently claimed the land around the temple, their argument being that the border in that specific spot hasn't been, properly marked out, demarcated.
And this legal back and forth, it hasn't exactly been peaceful over the years.
No, far from it. The sources show a timeline with repeated clashes, military skirmishes, periods of really high tension.
Especially around, what, 2008 to 2011?
Yeah, exactly. That period was particularly bad. Actual gunfire exchanged, casualties reported on both sides, lots of international calls for calm.
And that brings us right up to today, connecting the history to the current news. We're seeing reports now of renewed tensions.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the articles you sent, there are some specific things happening. One detail that really jumped out was Cambodia apparently cutting internet access from the Thai side near the border.
Yeah, that's a striking detail. It really makes you ask, okay, why this issue and why now?
What are the sources suggesting?
Well, they point to some recent reports of a border clash. A specific incident seems to have basically relit the fuse on these tensions that have been simmering for ages. It's an area with a history of military standoffs, remember?
And there's another layer, too. Cambodia is reportedly going back to the ICJ, seeking more intervention.
That's right, which connects back to that original 62 ruling, but also later ones. Like in 2013, the ICJ reaffirmed Cambodia's sovereignty over the entire temple promontory.
The whole thing, not just the building.
The whole promontory, yeah. And they ordered Thailand to withdraw its forces from that specific area. The ICJ even set up a temporary provisional demilitarized zone around the temple back in 2011 while they were looking at it.
So when you see these current headlines maybe about Cambodia-Thailand border tensions or this internet cutoff or Cambodia going to the ICJ again, it's crucial to understand it's not something totally new.
Exactly. You're seeing the latest chapter really in a very long and complex story. It's all woven together: history, geography, international law, national identity, the works.
So this deep dive hopefully gives you that essential backstory, the why behind what you're reading about. It helps you see these events aren't just random occurrences.
Right. They're deeply tied to this specific place, Preah Vihear, and this long, often contentious history.
Understanding those roots, the temple's significance, the ICJ's role, it's pretty vital for making sense of what's happening right now on the ground or in diplomatic channel.
It gives you the framework.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for providing the sources that let us do this deep dive today.
My pleasure. It's a complex one, but important to unpack.